Today we're going to look at how to research something. Yesterday you had to choose at least two animals that you thought were interesting and that you possibly wanted to learn more about. Today we're going to narrow that down to just one, and we're going to research or find information about that animal you've chosen. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you an example of how to do this, but I'm going to use the book Giraffes that we read the other day. So here are my questions that I have about an animal, my animal, the giraffe. The first one, what do giraffes eat? Where do giraffes live? And any other interesting facts about a giraffe. Remember, a fact is something that is true. These are the same things that you are going to find out about your animal. I'm just using the giraffe as an example. So let's go back to our story, Giraffes. And so why do you think that this book would be a good place to look for answers to questions about giraffes? Well, this book is filled with information about giraffes and how they live. And I know that because here's my topic, giraffes. And I know that it's a non-fiction book. It's going to give me true information about my topic, giraffes. So let's turn a couple of pages and let's go back to what we noticed the other day that this book had. This book had a table of contents. A table of contents it's a text feature that gives you information on where you can find something in the book. So how could I use the table of contents to find out about my first question, which was what giraffes eat? Well, I can open my book to the table of contents and read these little entries out loud. And hello giraffes, tall animals, everything is long, spotted fur, time to eat. I can stop there. I'm trying to find out what giraffes eat. So time to eat is probably going to tell me that information. And I can see that it's on page 12. So I would turn the page to page 12. I'm going to keep going. Here we go. And I can see that giraffes eat plants and that their long necks help them reach leaves way up in the tree. So this information answers the question to what giraffes eat, and I should write this down. Giraffes eat plants. They use their long necks to reach leaves on tall trees. I should write that down. So I would go to where I have my question, what do giraffes eat? And I should write that. So I would say giraffes eat plants and leaves on trees. Their long necks help them reach up into trees for their food. Now notice, I didn't copy straight from the book. I put it in my own words. What do giraffes eat? Giraffes eat plants and leaves on trees. Their long necks help them reach up into trees for their food. That is not exactly what this says. I put it in my own words. That's what you need to do. When you're writing your sentences on your animal, I want you to put it into your own words. Now, there's another text feature in my book that I could have used to help me find out that information, and that is my index. My index, it's at the back of a book. And I'm trying to find out what they eat, so I could go to the word food, and I can see I could have turned it to page 12. This would have told me what food giraffes eat? Now, my next question is, where do giraffes live? So I'm going to go back to my book and I'm going to use my index. And I've already read this book, but I can use this index to help me go back to it. So Africa, I see the word Africa, and it's on page 6. So I'm going to flip back to page 6 of my book, and it says, giraffes are tall animals. They live in Africa. Look how our word is a different color. We've talked about that text feature. That's important. They live in Africa. So my book is telling me where giraffes live, and that's helping me answer my question, where do giraffes live? So I could say, giraffes live in Africa. Giraffes live in Africa. So I've answered my question. I've used my nonfiction book about giraffes, and I've used my text features to help me find information. There was also a section back in the back called Words to Know, and Africa was one of those words we needed to know, the second biggest piece of land in the world. And I could also give, or I will also give, another interesting fact. So in my story, something else I heard that I thought was interesting was this one. A calf lives with other giraffes in a herd. That was an interesting fact to me. And remember, herd is a different color. It's a text feature. It's an important word, and I can find it in the back of my book. Remember, a herd is a large group of animals that live together. So I could go back to my interesting fact, and I could say, giraffes live in large groups called herds. That is an interesting fact. So I was able to find this information on the animal that I chose. So let me go to my next slide. So you have a paper in your binder that looks like this. Finding facts. Write some facts about your animal in the spaces below. Page 3.5. I want you to get this paper out. Remember, you're going to choose one of your animals that you decided on the other day. You're going to choose one of those. You're going to tell me, find that information, write it on your paper, where your animal lives, what your animal eats, and an interesting fact about your animal. And you're asking, well, how can I find that information out? Well, here's where to research your animal. These are links right here. These first two are links. They are links to what we call search engines, kind of like a Google, but for kids, because we want it to be a safe internet search. So these are for kids. You can go to one of these and it opens it up and you type your animal in there. Let's say you chose a bear and I typed in bear. I can search that and it's going to give me information about bears. It's going to give me information about bears. I can go to this one and it's going to open up and I can type it here also. My animal is a bear and I can search it. And it's going to give me different safe places to go to find information about a bear. You may have chosen a different animal. You can also look on Epic. So if you use your iPad, get on Epic. Epic is full of tons of nonfiction books about animals. And some of those books will even read the information to you. So your app Epic on your iPad is a great place to find informational books. Now, once you have picked your animal and found out your three facts about your animal, written them on your paper. I want you to take a picture and submit it to your Google Classroom assignment.